And welcome back here on Northeast Texas Today. I'm James Wyatt, and thanks again for joining us. Now I'm here with Ronnie Melvin and Stacy Cunningham. Now Stacy, you got to meet in the first segment, and Ronnie, we're going to get a chance to meet here in our second segment. And these gentlemen are from Aquatech. Now Ronnie is the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Sales for Aquatech. Ronnie, thanks for coming out and visiting with us a little bit today.
You bet. Good to be here.
Now we, of course, have invaded someone's home to find out a little bit more about the Aquatech products. Right. And Ronnie has graciously agreed to stop by and help us out with that. Of course, Stacy showed us some things out in the garage just a few minutes ago. And what we're doing now is, of course, moving inside. And Stacy, Ronnie, tell me a little bit about what we're going to see in here.
Well, what we have in here today, James, is an ultrafiltration unit. This is a water purification unit that's a drainless unit that obviously you can process your own bottled water in your home.
And this is set up right inside the pantry here in this particular home. Now, Ronnie, is this typical?
This is a good illustration of where we can do filtration for an ice maker or something along that line where you don't have a ready available drain. This system right here does not require a drain to process the water, and that's its advantage.
Now, Stacy mentioned bottled water, and of course that's at the top of everyone's mind. You know, there is a day now where we go into stores and we buy bottled water all the time. What kind of savings am I looking at by having something like this in my home, as opposed to just simply buying off the shelf?
The advantage of this system is if you probably sit down and put a pen and pencil to the amount of money that you're spending on bottled water a week, a month, you can have this system in your own house and you know what the water source is that you are filtering, versus some of the bottled waters you may get and you read and it may be Dallas water supply or Greenville water supply or something like that. You know what water that you're filtering with this water.
Okay. Now, Stacy, what is the difference between purified water and, well, like Ronnie says, you see it says Dallas Municipal Water Supply, and you read that on the bottle. Some people think they're getting purified water, but that's not exactly the correct phrase, right?
Exactly. 40% of your bottled water supplies are municipal sources. And then you have spring water. And obviously, they can label that as spring water, drinking water, purified water. What you want to look for if you do continue to buy bottled water is on the label it will say purified by reverse osmosis, and that is a purification process. But if you look at some of the bottled waters where it says spring water and they just use carbon filtration or sediment, they just remove the sediment, and then you're just getting actually raw water in a bottle.
Okay. Now we do have one of the reverse osmosis units installed here as well too, correct?
We do, correct.
All right, so we're going to take a look at that next, right?
Right.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Well, we've taken a couple of steps over here to actually the island here in the kitchen, and we were looking at the ultrafiltration system a moment ago. Now, Stacy, what are we looking at here again?
This, James, is a reverse osmosis filtration system. What this does is, if you can notice here, it's got a pre-filter which removes sediment. Then you have the carbon filter which removes the same as the taste, odor, and the chlorine. And then you go through a reverse osmosis membrane. And what that does is, how that works is, if you could just imagine taking a piece of cellophane and putting it over a window and standing back with a fire hydrant hose, and as you pressurize that water through that film, only pure water squeezes through on the other side, and it repels all the total dissolved solids. Like if you have lead, asbestos, insecticides, pesticides, cryptosporidium, any type of contaminants that are not seen in water. That's the stuff when you pour a glass of water and it's clear, we assume it's clear, doesn't smell too bad, that it's okay. Well, it's not necessarily the case. Right. And so what this does is this actually removes the total dissolved solids. And after it does that, it runs through a polish filter and then it goes into a holding tank. And what this does is this captures the pure water. It just drip feeds into the tank. And so as it makes the water, it sends the total dissolved solids, the bad water to the drain, and the good water to the tank. Then you come up and you have a faucet attached, you know, on your countertop, and these come in, you can get it in bronze, gold, black, white.
So it'll be something that works with your decor regardless of what you've got already. Okay.
Right. And then after it comes out of the tank, it goes through one more polish filter that's on the bottom, out the tap.
Okay. Now we need to be sure and illustrate to folks too, real quickly, that this unit has actually been removed from under the counter, obviously, and so we can explain all the different aspects of it. Now, this is sort of the ultimate in water filtration. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So reverse osmosis, a system like this is, I guess, as we talk about this, you mentioned the things that can be in your water. How common is that, though?
It's a real common thing. Obviously,
we have clean water to drink from the city, but
sure.
Are we still looking at things in there that we don't want in our bodies?
Exactly, and that's the thing, is the city delivers good water, especially in Lamar County area.
Right.
The municipalities deliver safe drinking water. For them to perform what this machine does would be so expensive to do on a mass level that we wouldn't be able to afford the water. So what this does is this takes it to the next step and purifies the water. It would take out, if you had a line break, or if you had, let's take pharmaceuticals for example. We assume that all pharmaceuticals are disposed of properly.
Right.
But we don't really want to assume that, because we know, if we really think about it, that a lot of them are flushed down the toilet or whatever you may have, and then that gets into the water streams. Mm-hmm. Well, that's impossible for municipalities to remove that with their process and the equipment that they have available. So it's up to the consumer and to us to take that water to the next level for the health benefits.
So again, this system is independent of the other system that you showed me earlier. Correct?
It is correct. And the
so
reason,
you could have either or.
Either or. Okay. Either or. This obviously is the top of the line reverse osmosis equipment.
Okay. And this is different from what we looked at in the garage.
That is correct. This is for drinking and cooking. Like when you make coffee, if you want, if you buy coffee beans, or if you're a coffee connoisseur, then obviously use less coffee. And then when you make tea, use less tea, Kool-Aid, less sugar, because you don't have the contaminants to flavor over, like the benzenes or calcium or any of the stuff that's in the water obviously affects flavor.
And if you think that doesn't make a difference, just a real quick side note on that, about 4 or 5 years ago I was in England, and I was drinking soft drinks over there, Cokes and Dr. Peppers and things like that, right. And nothing tasted right. And I finally asked one of the guys who was from the States who was with me, and I said, why does nothing taste right? And they said, because of the water over here. Exactly. And as soon as I got back into the States, it tasted better. I mean, to me, because that's what I was used to. So it does make a huge difference. Exactly.
And you could go to different towns, depending on whether they're well supply or groundwater supply. Like you can travel 30 miles east of here to Clarksville, Texas. The water's real high in alkalinity. And you can taste the difference if you drink coffee or tea in Clarksville. There's an obvious difference versus Clarksville and Paris water supplies.
Well, let's talk real quick one more time about what are we looking at as far as benefits for our families. If we opt to do the reverse osmosis or the filtration system, the ultrafiltration system, what are we looking at as far as benefit? Taste, cost, what exactly can we expect?
A lot of the benefits are obviously the quality of your food you cook and the drinks, and then obviously consuming the water, because municipal water supplies have to be sanitized to carry it through the distribution system. So it has to have a certain amount of chlorine, which is a sanitizer, and obviously it's the common thing to use, but we don't want to consume that.
I just want to say, at my house, I can tell you for sure, no ifs, ands, or buts, first-hand experience. I put my RO in, and we're big tea drinkers at my house, and a gallon of tea, use 4 cold brew, Lipton cold brew tea bags, around $3.50 for 24 bags. I put my RO in, and I went to using 2 bags versus 4 bags for the same tea, and it tastes so much better, so much crisper. I can leave it sitting out on the counter. If I forget about it and get busy doing something, I can come back an hour later, mix that tea up, and it doesn't sour like regular tap water does because of some of the chemicals and things that are in it.
It also works the same way with coffee. Use less coffee, sugar, and when you're cooking vegetables, you notice a big difference in that.
So again, you've got some incremental savings just in other products that you use that are basically water-based products. So coffee, tea, those types of things, you're going to see some savings because you're using less of those products, and you're getting a better product for your ultimately that you're consuming for your family.
Exactly, and it's too, if you take it to the next level, also you can make your own bottled water. You know, you can have one of the refillable, you know, the jugs that you use, and you take that with you. You're helping the planet by not using the plastic bottles in the landfills. So, you know, you're doing a lot more than just saving money on the ingredients that you use it with, but you also save a lot of money on not having to buy bottled water.
So the bottled water money that you're saving, plus the tea that you're saving on, and that's good for Kool-Aid, any kind of drink, lemonade mix, anything. You just use less sugar, you use less whatever, because you're not flavoring over things that are in the water. One
of the things too, James, I want to speak about, you know, we have the cold and flu season, and it's on a lot of people's minds about immune systems. And obviously we know, or have been told by a lot of health professionals, that it's real important to consume lots of water. And so one thing we want to make sure that we do when we consume lots of water, that we're consuming purified water to help our body stay hydrated. And obviously if we're hydrated, and then pure water obviously is better for our thyroids, immune system, and then obviously we're going to feel better when we're hydrated, and that helps counteract some of the issues with the cold and the flu.
Well, that's a really important point. It's something that's on everybody's mind right now. I saw something the other day, and I don't know if this is absolutely correct or not, but I think it is, that another aspect of that is our brains are 75% water.
Exactly.
So the better the water, the better the brain.
That's exactly right. We do believe that it will make you smarter.
Right. Well, obviously we've touched on some very important topics here today, but let's give folks some information about how they can get in touch with you guys. Maybe there's a website that they can go to find out a little bit more, perhaps find out a little bit more in their own home about how they can benefit from the products at Aquatech.
Right.
Our phone number is a local number here in Paris. It's 903-784-3990. Give us a call. We'd be glad to come out and do a water analysis for you, go over any concerns that you may have, answer any questions that we can.
And you also can go to the website, which is aquatechpro.com.
Okay. And again, too, if you don't think that this is something that will benefit you, you're already, if you're buying bottled water in any shape, form, or fashion, you're already participating in this. And what these gentlemen are going to do is they're going to show you a way that you could actually save money by having one of these systems from Aquatech. This has really been enlightening, gentlemen. Thank you so much for spending the time today to let us know a little bit more about how it not only can improve you health-wise, but also help save you some money.
Exactly.
It was our pleasure. Thank you, James.
Thanks to you for watching today here on Northeast Texas Today. We'll see you next time.